Medusa, the woman turned by love. Her gaze is so extraordinary with or without snakes. With her serpentine locks and the power to turn anyone who dared to look into her eyes into stone, she is an enigmatic figure shrouded in mystery. One of a trio of Gorgon sisters, Medusa was the only sister who was not immortal. While Medusa was a beautiful mortal woman, she served beside Athena, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. Medusa had vowed to remain pure and untouched while she served the goddess. While serving Athena, mortals and gods both took notice of Medusa's beauty. Coming from a family of sea monsters and nymphs, Medusa was the only one with striking beauty. Medusa did not take part in any of the attention she received until Poseidon, the god of the seas, took notice of her. The love for Poseidon cost Medusa everything dear to her. When Medusa had an affair with the sea god Poseidon, Athena punished her. She turned Medusa into a hideous hag, making her hair into writhing snakes, and her skin was turned a greenish hue. Anyone who locked their gaze on Medusa was turned into stone. After she was cursed, Medusa, together with her sisters, lived on a remote island away from humankind because she was constantly chased by warriors as she became a prized target. Nevertheless, none of the warriors who tried to kill her succeeded. All of them were eventually turned into stone. The tentacles were powerful enough to easily destroy cities and pull entire ships under the water. However, some people think that the writhing snakes on her head were protection from men. Legend also has it that Medusa spent some time in the African region, and some snakes dropped her hair. The snakes took a new life. It may explain why African snakes are so venomous and dangerous. While Medusa is usually considered to be ugly, one myth states that it was her great beauty, not her ugliness, that paralyzed all observers. Being the mystical creature she was, Medusa's head was sought after by King Polydectes. King Polydectes ordered Perseus, a Greek hero, to bring him the head of Medusa. Perseus went out on his quest to find Medusa and behead her. He was given gifts from the gods to help defeat her, including a shield made by the goddess of knowledge and wisdom. Without this shield, Perseus would not have been able to behead Medusa. He beheaded her and placed her head in his satchel to take back to King Polydectes. Medusa's blood also had special powers. After Medusa's head was severed, drops of her blood that fell to the ground were transformed into venomous snakes. When the hero Perseus carried Medusa's head after killing her, he traveled across much of Libya. The blood from Medusa's head seeped through the bag he was carrying it in and left many drops of blood across the country, which, legend has it, is why Libya has so many snakes. Due to the love affair Medusa had with Poseidon, they eventually brought two new beings upon the world. The children were sons who were born when Perseus beheaded Medusa. As Perseus beheaded Medusa, her two children sprang from her neck. The sons were Pegasus and Chrysaor. Pegasus was an immortal winged horse who could fly and create streams of water just by striking his hoof. Pegasus would have future ties with the Greek hero Bellerophon. Athena gifted Pegasus to Bellerophon for his devotion to her. Chrysaor was a young man whose name means "he who bears a golden sword." Chrysaor does not have a large role in Greek mythology as his brother Pegasus. Perseus returned his magical gifts and gave Medusa's head as an offering to Athena. Always the protector of heroes, Athena put aside, in a bronze jar, a lock of Medusa's hair for Heracles. Hercules was the son of Zeus, king of the gods, and the mortal woman Alcmene. Zeus, who was always chasing one woman or another, took on the form of Alcmene's husband, Amphitryon, and visited Alcmene one night in her bed, and so Hercules was born a demigod with incredible strength and stamina. He performed amazing feats, including wrestling death and traveling twice to the underworld, and his stories were told throughout Greece and later in Rome. Yet his life was far from easy from the moment of his birth, and his relationships with others were often disastrous. This was because Hera, the wife of Zeus, knew that Hercules was her husband's illegitimate son and sought to destroy him. Athena then set Medusa's head in a shield of Zeus that became known as the Gorgoneion. Perseus used the shield in battle, and anyone who looked upon it would be turned to stone. Perseus encountered Atlas the Titan, a mythical giant, who challenged him. In their confrontation, Perseus used Medusa's head to turn the Titan into stone. Perseus continued his journey home and, as he passed the kingdom of Ethiopia, he came upon the beautiful and helpless maiden Andromeda, chained to the rocks waiting to be devoured by a sea monster. He saved Andromeda and later married her again, conquering another trial. Athena also collected some of the remaining blood and gave most of it to Asclepius, who used the blood from Medusa's left side to take people's lives, and the blood from her right side to raise people from the dead. The rest of Medusa's blood, a vial containing 2 drops, Athena gave to her adopted son, Erichthonius. Medusa is featured in many Greek poems, including Homer's Iliad and Hesiod's Theogony. Although she is not mentioned by name, a Gorgon, much like Medusa, also appears in Homer's Odyssey. Medusa is one of the most ubiquitous characters in the ancient Greek canon, as she appears in many legends, myths, and stories spanning hundreds of years. The image of Medusa was thought to be protective. Ancient statuary, bronze shields, and vessels have depictions of Medusa. Famous artists that have been inspired by Medusa and the heroic Perseus story include Leonardo da Vinci, Benvenuto Cellini, Peter Paul Rubens, Gianlorenzo Bernini, Pablo Picasso, Auguste Rodin, and Salvador Dali. In ancient times, she did not have any known temples. It is said that the Artemis Temple in Corfu depicts Medusa in an archaic form. She is shown as a symbol of fertility dressed in a belt of intertwined snakes. In modern times, her carved image adorns a rock off the coast of the popular Red Beach outside of Matala, Crete. Also, the flag and emblem of Sicily feature her head. Although Medusa is commonly regarded as a monster, her head is often seen as a protective amulet that would keep evil away. The name Medusa comes from an ancient Greek verb meaning to guard or protect. The image of Medusa's head can be seen in numerous Greek and subsequent Roman artifacts, such as shields, breastplates, and mosaics. One such example of a protective Medusa head pendant appeared in the form of a late 2nd to 4th century AD Roman artifact, recently unearthed in the Cambridgeshire countryside. A 2,000-year-old marble head of Medusa was found not too long ago at a former Roman commercial center in Turkey as well. Numerous coins bear not only the imagery of Perseus holding the head of Medusa, but also the head in its own right. From her transformation into a monstrous creature to her ability to turn anyone who looked at her into stone, Medusa's curse is a tale that continues to intrigue and mystify. Medusa is a popular figure in modern culture, as she's part of various anime, comics, movies, TV shows, and even video games. In anime world, she made an appearance as one of the Gorgon sisters in One Piece. In comics world, Medusa has been appearing in issues of Wonder Woman since 1964 and has battled against Diana herself many times. In the film universe, she is a villain in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief movie, where she attacks Percy Jackson and his friends as they are looking for the Pearl of Persephone in her garden. In the TV world, Medusa was an important character in Netflix's latest hit, Chaos, which is based on Greek legends. She serves in the underworld under Hades' regime in the show. In the world of gaming, Medusa and her Gorgon sisters have been featured characters in multiple fan favorites from Dota 2 to Dungeons & Dragons to God of War to Final Fantasy. Girl surely is a fan favorite. Keep watching and subscribe for more terrifying unsolved stories.